Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you through a 20-minute Pilates glute workout. You don't need any equipment today, and we're getting started laying on our backs, flat on our backs with the knees bent and your feet hip distance apart. Getting ready to just wake up through the glutes a little bit, setting up for a glute bridge series. So place your hands down by your sides on the mat to start. Take a big inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, squeeze through your glutes, lift your hips up into your glute bridge. Inhale, tap the hips down. Exhale, lift. So just waking up through the lower body, through the center of those glutes here, pushing down into the bottoms of both feet, activating up through the hamstrings, up through the glutes. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to squeeze and lift. Just give me 3 more here, keeping it nice and simple to start, moving slow and controlled. Last one. Let's hold with the hips lifted up in our glute bridge now. And inhale, reach your arms straight up overhead. Exhale, press them back down towards your hips. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, press down, so those hips are staying lifted up this entire time, using the strength of your glutes to keep that glute bridge position. Just give me 3 more here, inhaling to reach up. Exhaling, press your hands down. Final 2 before we add on to this. And last one. Let's switch this up now. On your inhale, as you reach your arms up overhead, lower your hips back down to the mat. And then exhale, press your hands to your hips and lift up into your glute bridge. Inhale, hips lower, arms reach up. Exhale, arms press down, hips lift up. 4 more. Inhale, reach overhead, drop your hips. Exhale, glute bridge, press your arm by your sides. For 3. Exhaling to lift. Just 2 more here, squeezing the glutes up at the top each time. And last one. Hold with the hips lifted one last time, and reach your arms straight up from your shoulders now for a little extra challenge. Lower your hips halfway down towards the mat and lift them back up. Lower just halfway and lift. So just a few inches of movement coming from the hips here, never letting the hips tap all the way down to the mat. Just a little lower and a squeeze to lift back up to the top. Give me 3 more, inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. Last 2, lower down, lift up, and last one. Hold the hips lifted one last time, and let's pulse the hips to finish. Up for 10, 9, little lifts and lowers through the hips here. Pulsing for 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your hips all the way down towards the mat, and go ahead and hug your knees in towards the chest for a quick break, stretching out through the glutes. Maybe rocking side to side on the lower back. Hold through center, release your legs, and let's roll over onto the left side of our bodies now, getting ready to work that right outer glute. Propping your head up in your left hand, bending both of your knees to 90 degrees and bringing them straight out in front of the hips with the ankles straight down from the knees. Flex through your feet to start. Take an inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, float your right knee a couple inches up over your left. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 4 more. Just lightly waking up that right outer glute to start here. Last 2 before we add on to this. And last one. Let's add on now, so lift your knee up. Press your leg straight to the side, bend it back in, and lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press out. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lower. So lift. Push that leg to straight as if you're pressing something really heavy away from you. Just 3 more here before we add on one final time. Last 2. And last 1. Now lift your knee up, press your leg to straight, then sweep your leg straight out in front of the hip, pull it back to the side, bend your knee back in, and lower it down to meet the left. Again, inhale, lift, exhale, press, inhale, sweep forward, exhale, pull back, inhale, bend, exhale, lower. Just give me 2 more. Lift up, press out, sweep it forward, sweep it back, bend your knee in, lower it down. Last 1. Inhale, lift, exhale, press, inhale, sweep it forward, exhale, pull it back, inhale, bend in, and exhale, lower. Now just lift your knee up, press your leg out, and hold it there, straight to the side. Lift your leg straight up, giving me 2 pulses at the top, and lower it down. Exhale, lift, pulse, pulse. Inhale, lower. So just lifting your leg straight up and down now, like you're painting a wall with the bottom of that right foot. Pulse, pulse, and lower down, giving that little extra squeeze of the glute at the top. Never letting that leg drop below hip height here. Once it reaches hip height, it's time to lift it straight back up towards the sky. This is your last one. Hold your leg out at hip height now. Kick it about 6 inches in front of you. Turn your big toe down towards the floor. Tap your toe down to the floor and lift. Tap your toe down. Drive up through your heel. 6 more. This should burn right into that right outer glute here. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift for just 4 more here. Trying to get that toe all the way down, really staying rotated through that foot. This is your last one. Hold that heel lifted and sweep your leg back out to hip height, pointing through the foot, and give me circles to the back for 10. For 9. Tracing circles about the size of a baseball here, keeping them controlled and strong. Just for 2 more. And switch directions, circles to the front for 10. For 9, keep it controlled here. Don't let that leg drop down below hip height. Keep that tension on the right outer glute. We are almost out of this. Hold your leg through center now. Flex through your foot, and let's pulse to finish for 10. And a big pulses here with that right leg. Can you get it any higher up off of that mat? This is where we leave it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab a hold of that right foot. Drive it in towards your right glute. Lengthen through that left leg and pull your right knee up and in towards your chest, feeling a very well-deserved stretch on that right outer glute. Let's roll over onto our backs now one last time for another glute bridge series, getting ready to work both glutes at the same time. So bring your feet hip distance apart, knees are bent. And let's start with that simple glute bridge. So exhale, squeeze through the glutes, lift your hips up towards the sky. Inhale, drop them down. And exhale, lift. Just 2 more before we add on to this. Inhaling to lower and exhaling to lift. Now let's lower the hips down. Lift them up to your bridge and give me 2 pulses. Lower through the hips. Exhale, lift up, pulse, pulse. 4 more. Lower the hips down. Squeeze the glutes, double pulse up at the top. Inhaling just to tap the hips to the mat and then lifting them right back up, not hanging out at the bottom of that range. We want constant tension on the glutes. Just give me 1 more here. Lower through the hips. Now lift up through the hips and let's hold up in that glute bridge and just pulse your hips up for 10, for 9, 8, and 7. Little lifts, little lowers through the hips for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips all the way down now. Walk your feet out as wide as your mat, and we're gonna repeat that same exact series. So exhale, squeeze the glutes, lift your hips. Inhale, lower, starting with that simple glute bridge. This wide stance with the legs is gonna get even more into those outer glutes here. Last one before we add that double pulse. So inhale, lower your hips down. Exhale, lift them up and pulse, pulse. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift the hips, double pulse at the top. 4 more here. Really squeezing through the glutes, pressing through the feet as you lift your hips up towards the sky. For just 3 more, exhaling, pulse, pulse. Inhale to lower. 2 to go here. And last one. Let's lift up in our bridge now and hold up at the top and just pulse the hips up to finish for 10, 9, 8, really squeezing through the glutes each time you drop and lift for just 4 more. Last 3, 2, and just hold your hips lifted for one last big deep breath up at the top, squeezing through the glutes. And then slowly release the hips all the way back down towards the mat. At the bottom, go ahead and windshield wiper through your knees, rocking the knees from side to side, releasing any tension through the hips and the glutes. Hold your knees through center now. We just have one more series to get through. We've got to repeat that side glute series on the left. So come down onto the right side of your body now, bending your knees to 90 degrees, pulling them in straight out in front of the hips, with the ankles straight down from the knees, and your head is resting in that right hand. So on your exhale, float your left knee up a couple of inches off of that right leg. Inhale, drop it down. And exhale, lift. So just waking up through that left outer glute, just like we did on the right. 3 more here. Keeping that foot flexed for 2. And 1. Let's add in that press now. So lift your left knee up. Press your left leg straight to the side. Bend it in and lower it down. Again, inhale, lift, exhale, press, inhale, bend, exhale, lower. 4 more here, lift up, pushing against that heavy surface to the side of you, bending in, lowering down. 3 to go in this little combo move, pushing to the side, feeling that squeeze through that outer glute. This is your last one before we add on that final piece. So now lift your knee up off of the right, press your leg to the side, sweep it forward in front of the hip, sweep it straight back, bend your left knee in, and lower it down. Again, inhale, lift, exhale, press, inhale, sweep forward, exhale, pull it back, inhale, bend, exhale, lower. Just 2 more times through this combo, lifting up, pressing out, sweeping it forward, keeping that leg at hip height as we sweep it back, bend the knee in, and drop it down. Last one, lift up, press long, sweep it forward, sweep it back, bend the knee in, and lower. Now just lift that knee up and press it to the side, holding it there. On your exhale, lift your leg straight up, giving a double pulse at the top. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, lift, pulse, pulse. Inhaling to lower. Exhale, squeeze that outer glute up at the top, keeping that left leg flexed through the foot and the toes pointed towards the front of you so that you are working that outer glute here and not the quad. Just give me 2 more. Pulse, pulse, lower down, and last one. Hold your leg low now. Sweep your foot about 6 inches in front of you. Turn your big toe down to the mat. Tap your toe to the floor. Drive up through the heel. Tap the toe. Lift the heel. This should burn that left outer glute real good here. Inhaling to lower. Exhale to lift. For 4 more. Just for 3, keep that rotation through the leg. For 2 more here. And last one, hold the heel lifted, straighten out through the hip, sweep your leg back to the side, point through your foot, and give me circles to the back for 10. For 9, we are almost at the end of this side glute work. We are almost at the end of this workout as a whole. Hang on here. For 3, 2, and 1. Switch directions now. Circles to the front for 10. For 9, keep it small, keep it controlled here. We are almost out of this. Just have that pulse to go after this. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flex through your foot now, and let's finish with that pulse for 10. For 9, can you get that leg any higher? This is where we leave this glute workout. Pulsing for 5, yes you can, for 4, lift and lower for 3, 2, and 1. Grab that left foot, draw it in towards your glute, extend long through that right leg, and drive your left knee up and in towards the chest. Feel that release for that outer glute. Roll over onto your back now, and let's get a deeper stretch through those glutes. Go ahead and cross your left ankle over top of your right knee and pull your right leg in towards your chest, feeling that opening through your left glute. Release it down and switch. Right ankle crosses over left knee and pull that left leg in towards your chest. Release that stretch, roll over onto one side, and press yourself up to a cross-legged position in the center of your mat. Inhale as you reach your arms straight up overhead, and exhale, just fall forward over top of your legs, feeling a nice gentle stretch on those outer glutes. Inhale, reach your arms straight up overhead, sitting up nice and tall. And exhale, press your hands down by your sides. That is it for today's 20-minute Pilates glute workout. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.